Imagine, if you will, a perfect life. Oh, the most perfect life. On the surface, but hides secrets that shatter the very foundation of society. First of all, welcome to Strange Files. It's story time. And also, welcome to the extraordinary, out of very strange tale with Dolly Oesterreich. This goes back to the 1920s. That's right, the roaring 20s, folks. A married woman living in Los Angeles, Southern California, 1920s. Her husband, Fred, well, he was a very wealthy industrialist, but their marriage was far from idyllic. You see, Dolly had a wild streak. Kind of that age, you had the flappers. You had a lot of women coming out of the turn of the century from the industrial age, and they're free air thinkers. Not to say that free thinking meant infidelity, but Dolly was very much a free thinker. She found herself entangled in a very passionate affair with a young man named Otto Sandhuber. I think I'm pronouncing that right. What made this affair truly remarkable, amazing, and very strange, to add to the Strange Files, was that Otto lived in the attic. That's right, in her attic. In her and her husband's house, the attic. Upstairs, not upstairs.
In the damn attic.
Hidden from the world like a ghost. But no, the husband didn't know anything about it. That's right, she kept him hidden away in the attic, and wait till you find out how long. Dolly and Otto's relationship was intense, creative, very creative, and secretive and lunatic. She would sneak him food. She would sneak him supplies, anything that he asked for, anything that he needed. Some of the things that he would do, he would write stories. He would make bathtub gin while Fred was at work, of course. It was as if they were living in their own little world. Yeah, I'd say. Hidden from the prying eyes of society. But beneath the surface, of course, tensions were building. Dolly's marriage was strained, and her husband was obviously not aware of what was going on, but felt like something wasn't quite right. But he couldn't put his finger on it, but he knew. He felt it. He had intuition, and it bothered him to the point of thinking that he was insane. And, of course, Dolly gaslighting him and making him feel like he was a deranged lunatic, because he would hear things, he would smell things, he would feel things that just weren't right, a lot of times in the middle of the night. And this went on time after time. It was a surprise to both Dolly and Fred that their marriage lasted as long as it did. Well, one fateful night, Dolly and her husband got into a very heated argument. The tension was palpable, and Otto, fearing for Dolly's safety, decided to intervene. You see, it wasn't like it had been 1 year that she had him up in the attic and then one fateful night he intervenes. It wasn't 2 months. It wasn't 3 years. It had been 10 years. He was living in the attic for 10 years before this one fateful night. You see, he moved in the attic. It was around 1913 in Milwaukee, by the way, and moved with them. Yes, to Los Angeles. And that was in 1922 when the incident occurred. Getting crazier, isn't it? Well, Otto grabbed a .25 caliber pistol and ran downstairs to defend his lover against her angry husband. And you guessed it. Yes, it ended in tragedy for Fred at first, just for Fred. He was shot 3 times and he died. So what do you think that Otto and Dolly did? Yes, you guessed right. They staged a burglary. They staged a burglary. They decided to lock Dolly in a closet, and Otto returned back to the attic. So the police were called, and they came to the house, and they found Dolly locked in the closet. And of course, she claimed that she had been a victim of a very botched robbery gone wrong. I guess I didn't have to say that. It botched and gone wrong are the same thing. However, the officers were suspicious. There were no stolen items. And the small caliber of gun that was used in the robbery raised some questions. But they didn't know that they did not know yet that the key to the burglary lie up in the attic. As the investigation continued, Dolly's story was riddled with inconsistencies. She maintained that her husband and her had a good marriage, that there were no problems at all whatsoever. They were the best of friends and they never fought, ever. And that fueled the detective's skepticism. And I have my own theories about that because that was the old days. And I guess most people fought and didn't hide that they fought. Maybe, I don't know. I might be wrong about that. But I'm not wrong about this, that Otto remained hidden in the attic. He was used to it. It was his comfort zone. And as Dolly continued to sneak him supplies, and they continued this life, even though the husband was dead, but it was to not bring attention to them that there was somebody else in the house, I guess, and to hide the murderer. Well, if you thought the truth would come out later, then you guessed right. The truth finally began to bring forth fruit, and it began to unravel after years of this incident much later. Dolly's carelessness and Otto's eventual return to Los Angeles led to their downfall. You see, you probably picked up on me saying that he returned to Los Angeles, right? Well, let me explain that. He ended up leaving after 8 years. And that's because let me back up a little bit. After the murder, Otto didn't immediately leave the attic. Instead, he continued to live there for another 8 years. The only notable change was that he was allowed to have a typewriter, as there was no longer anyone there to hear the tat, 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 tat. But eventually he left the state because he starved for conversation. So he says to Dolly's attorney. Yes, Dolly's attorney. His name was Herman Shapiro. Not sure if he was related to the Shapiro that defended OJ, but who knows? Maybe. But yes, her attorney's name was Herman Shapiro, and he issued the ultimatum for Otto to leave the state. Now, why do you think he would do that? Well, this occurred after Shapiro, the attorney, became suspicious and began to investigate the murder a little bit more in depth of Fred Oesterreich. And he was Dolly's new lover. Yes, her new lover. And yeah, he wanted Otto to leave. Messy situation. But Otto didn't stay gone. He came back. And Dolly had more than one. She had more than two lovers. She had lovers. And part of the downfall was that she gave one of her lovers the watch that was supposedly stolen during the botched robbery. And it sparked a chain of events that would expose their secret. Well, the lover was also the attorney. Yes, Herman Shapiro. And he eventually went to the police and exposed everything, told them everything. Well, Otto was arrested and Dolly was charged with conspiracy to commit murder. And the case went off the hook. It became a media sensation, with the newspapers dubbing Otto the Batman, or he also went by the Ghost in the Garret. Well, these two lovers didn't stay loyal to each other, put it that way. Dolly blamed everything on Otto, claiming that she was only trying to protect him. However, the prosecutor portrayed her as a cold-blooded accomplice who aided in the murder. In the end, Dolly managed to walk away with no charges at all whatsoever. But the scandal did leave an indelible mark on the rest of her life. You see, folks, this true crime testament is a testament to the secret that can hide behind closed doors and the lengths that people will go to cover up their dirty laundry and to keep the ghosts at bay up in the attic. It is a tale that's as wild as tragic, and that's an understatement. A reminder that that truth is stranger than fiction, and that the most incredible stories are sometimes actually true. Now, I want to hear from you, folks. Have you ever encountered a mystery as intriguing as this? People love the comments section, so let us know. Let me know. You'd be surprised how many people want to know what you know. Let us know. Let me know in the comments section. And if you enjoyed this tale, make sure to subscribe for more strange files that'll keep you on the edge of your seat. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, I'll see you in the next file.